In a sprawling world, 5 factions are at war for dominance over resources, trade routes, and powerful gear. It is up to you to carve out your little pocket in this vast world of calamity and destruction. Will you seek it to become a skilled soldier, fighting for your faction's colors and agenda? Or will you become a denizen of peace, providing your services to craft items and gear, to fish, or maybe even become an established merchant, going about your days exporting your resources to the reaches of the lands for your own financial benefit? Does this all sound appealing to you?
Well, think again, fucko, because Albion Online is one of those games that looks like everything that you could ever want in an MMO, but in practice, it is a repeating cycle of cock and ball torture on the very essence of your soul. And I'm going to give you my unbiased, unshilled opinion, unlike most of these other YouTubers that are being paid thousands of dollars to give their objective opinion about Albion Online. Yeah, fucking right. Before I get into the nitty-gritty, let me break down the basic mechanics of the game so you get a better understanding of the points that I make later on in this video. Albion Online, for the most part, is a full-loot PvP game. The game is divided up into 5 major regions with their own sets of resources and cities that make them unique. Within these regions, there are different colored zones that have their own set of PvP rules and tiered levels to them. The higher the number, the higher the level of monsters and resources that are in that zone. You can also get XP buffs for going into the PvP zones to gather or kill mobs, with the full loot PvP zones having the biggest bonuses, of course. These zones kind of remind me of the zones in Path of Exile or really any other ARPG. Especially since you have that top-down isometric view in game. This game is like if RuneScape and Foxhole had a baby that neither one of them were fit enough to take care of. So they abandoned it on the side of the road in a little box and blanket, only for Path of Exile to come along and raise it as their own. The blue zones are safe and have no PvP whatsoever. Yellow zones are limited PvP, where you don't lose your items when you die to another player. And red and black zones are full PvP, except black zones have harder enemies to fight. The black zones are kept in a separate region called the Outlands, and you can only access the Outlands by teleporting there from a major city. Once you're in the black zone, it kind of operates like an extraction game, where you go in and try to get the good shit and get the fuck out, all without dying, of course. What sets this game apart from most MMOs is that not only are there no quests or a basic storyline that you can participate in other than the tutorial, but the economy is all player driven and localized, meaning that the marketplace is different from city to city. This causes trade routes to be a huge part of the game. If you go out and cut some wood in Limhurst, you can then bring it over to Fort Sterling to refine it, since Sterling gives you a bonus for wood refining. Then you could haul it all the way over to Bridgewatch to make fat profit, since there are no trees that grow there. Full loot PvP is a very, very, very big part of this game. So if that's not your style, then you're probably not going to have a good time. And by full loot, I mean you lose fucking everything. Your mount, your backpack, your weapons, armor, everything. On top of that, you level up all of your armor, weapons, and skills by wearing said gear while hitting shit or by gathering shit. All while these skills are in this PoE-ass skill tree forest. Now that we got that out of the way, let's start off with the good. Albion has a really good vibe to it. Being a vibe connoisseur myself, I really like the idea of Albion. Who wouldn't want a game where the players can control every aspect of a world that is constantly changing with the flow of combat and commerce, along with factions and guilds being able to change the playing field each and every day? Well, with that last sentence is where the main problems truly arise. With this game being so PvP centric, all of the zones with the best shit that are full loot PvP are constantly being bombarded by big ass guilds and groups, which makes the solo experience absolutely abysmal. If you're not in a guild or a group of any kind, you are a goldfish swimming out into shark-infested waters. I've always gravitated towards MMOs because the sense of being a small cog in a big machine of the world is a cool thing to be a part of. And I feel like you should have the choice of being in a guild or not. Not everyone has the time to keep up with the social fuckery that comes with joining a guild. With that being said, if you are going to play Albion, I highly suggest that you join a guild. There's no point in going into a full loot PvP zone and getting your ass handed back to you on a silver platter, only to lose hours of progress and resources. Ganking players is a really big issue in this game. Yeah, if you're skilled enough and prepared enough for it, maybe you could get away from a couple mouth breathers trying to gang up on you. But at the end of the day, Albion is just a numbers game. As long as the other side has more bodies, you are not going to win that fight. And have fun farming in the zones that have limited or no PvP because they nerfed the fuck out of those XP bonuses there not too long ago. My schizo game theory is that they did that to funnel you towards the full loot zones, which would make you lose your gear faster and you would be more inclined to purchase more silver through the microtransactions. Which goes into my next point, microtransactions. Woo! Yeah, you know, you love them. Man, it seems like we just cannot avoid these fuckers nowadays. And since this is a free-to-play MMO, you bet your ass there's gonna be hella predatory microtransactions in this bitch. And would you look at this shit, there's $140 packs you can buy, skins galore, along with buying gold that you can turn into silver that you can then use to buy more gear and shit in the game. Who are the fat fucking chuds that are buying this shit? Anytime a game has this bullshit in it, my stink detectors go ham wild.
And you know for damn sure that there's a bunch of whales out there that are using their greasy fat fucking fingers to punch in their mommy's credit cards to buy this shit.
Because if they're setting the prices for this slop so egregiously, then you know for a fact that someone is out there gobbling the shit up in full force. There's also a premium subscription you can buy that will give you another XP bonus. You also get a daily supply of these learning points that will help you level up your skills a lot faster. If that's not pay to win, then you're smoking crack. Also, pass me the pipe, you're fucking up the rotation. And I'm sure a lot of you are going to be like, oh, well, every MMO nowadays has some sort of subscription in it. And you'd be right. But how would it look if RuneScape did the same thing, where having the subscription magically makes your skills level up a lot quicker?
Sit down! Sit the fuck down!
Or if in World of Warcraft it makes you level up faster. Oh wait, they're already doing that shit, never mind. Pay to win is pay to win. Let's not get that confused. And in Albion Online, the microtransactions are where the problems pile up on each other. Being able to buy currency that affects the in-game economy will only just favor the rich. Speaking of the rich, let me tell you about the super duper top secret cartel that runs this game in the shadows. I am not even shitting you. Most people don't even know that they exist. In the capital cities I was talking about earlier, there are these shops that you can go to where you refine your resources that you gather, all while paying a small but sometimes big tax on however much you refine. The catch is that all these shops are player owned. Players can purchase a lease for a fuck ton of silver to have their very own shop for a limited time. Once the lease is up, you can try to purchase the shop back or someone can outbid you for it. This system on the surface looks pretty cool. It gives hope to newer players that they can one day rake in silver once they get all their shit together. But in practice though, there is a group of basement dwellers that sit all day in Discord buying up all the shops across the whole game, setting the prices to whatever they want. And let's say you're finally able to buy one of these shops without being in the cartel. Much like the real life cartel, you will instantly have a target on your back. They will either price you out, harass you, or just make your life a living hell. The cartel will also block important spawns of certain mounts. The main one being the fabled Mammoth mount. The Mammoth is the best mount in the game for transporting resources. They can transport the highest weight of resources out of all the other mounts. And with that, they're also one of the most expensive mounts in the game, in which the cartel also controls the prices along with a lot of other items. To potentially get this mount, you have to kill a mature mammoth that has a small chance of dropping a baby mammoth. You raise up this baby mammoth and it turns into the mammoth mount. But what's the catch? This mature mammoth is in a zone where you can lose all of your fucking gear, of course. Who would have thought, right? So the absolute dweebs in this virtual cartel spends hours of their life camping out in these spawn points at all hours of the day just to make sure that you cannot get one, while they get all of them. Do you see where the problems in this game arise? There is no point in playing a game that does not respect your time whatsoever, and where the top 1% rule the entire fucking world. The perfect way to describe Albion Online is this. You find a really good job online. You go through the interview process, surprise, surprise, they like you. And on your very first day of work, you hear the phrase, "We're like a family here." They start to tell you to come in 1 hour early to make sure that you're at peak efficiency. And slowly but surely, they take advantage of your kindness for their own personal gain. You see that all of your coworkers are kiss-ass shills that would never dare question the values of the company. They're too tied up between a pizza party and the fact that you can wear jeans on Fridays. Albion behaves exactly like this. If you go on YouTube and you look up Albion Online review, I guarantee that you're going to find that most of the reviews are sponsored by the creators themselves.
This seems like the perfect moment to talk about the sponsor of this video, which is actually Albion Online.
Thank you to Sandbox Interactive. They reached out to have me cover some of the recent updates.
Massive thank you to Sandbox Interactive for sponsoring this video.
So let's get into this, and a big thanks to Sandbox Interactive for sponsoring this video.
After a lot of deep reflection, soul searching, and zero outside influence whatsoever, I ended up downloading Albion Online, which, completely unrelated, happens to be the sponsor of today's video.
This stuff is killer. It's cutting edge. Basically what it does is it goes inside your brain. There's all this shit, but it makes it so that you can feel normal.
Is it Albion Online?
It's
Albion Online.
Yes! You've heard of it.
How can you make an objective video while also being paid thousands of dollars to do so? Oh, that's right, you can't. That's like getting paid to go out and eat at a restaurant and give your opinion on the food. I'm sure that food's gonna taste a lot better with that cash in your pocket. So I hope this video will help people who are searching for a good MMO to not touch this game with a 10-foot pole. Your time will be best suited somewhere else. With all that being said, I am giving Albion Online a 1 out of 5 on the Squrbo scale. Absolute dog shit game.